Well, good morning, YouTube. It's been a while. I haven't made a vlog in about almost 3 years. But finally just started to get back into it. You know, making videos, kind of updates about just things that are going on in my life. God, wow, a lot has changed since then. But we'll save all that for a later date, about all kinds of things that I've been up to the last few years. But right now, I woke up early today because I am going to bring my car in for a detail. Now there's different levels of detail. Some it's more just focused on the interior. Others are more focused on the exterior and removing bugs and things like that. It really just depends on all kinds of things about what you want to do to get your car quote unquote detailed and what exactly that means. For me, I am getting done what is known as a paint correction and a ceramic coating applied to my car. And I'll explain why shortly. But I realized since my last vlog I haven't shown you, I've actually had two different cars. They've both been Hondas. I had to get rid of the ZL1 for various reasons that I will get into eventually. We'll talk about that later. But I do want to say I did get a new car last July when I got back from my last deployment, because I did deploy again since my last vlog. But I'm excited to show it to you real quick. I just want to point this out real quick because I might get a question about it or something like that. You might see the shirt. This is a shirt that I just love. I was given it to me by a friend of mine who works for Motor Trend. I'm not like officially an employee by any means or anything like that. I have written some articles that have been published by Motor Trend, which is cool. That's another thing, another update in my life. Many updates in my life. A lot of things happened in 3 years. Well, good morning, everyone. So yesterday I dropped off my car to get detailed, specifically a paint correction and a ceramic coat. I'm actually on my way to go pick it up now. I just called my Uber, that's kind of interesting itself, calling an Uber during a global pandemic. I've actually got my mask in my hand here holding the camera, so I'll put that on in a minute. But I'm very excited. He just sent me some photos of what my car looks like right now, and it's stunning. It literally looks better than the day I bought it. So we're gonna go pick it up now, check it out, see how he did. Alright, so I'm picking up my car now. Looks insanely good. I can't even tell you, it looks better than the day I got it. I'm actually here with Sean from Cut Above the Rest Detailing. And he's kind of going to go over what he did with the car, explain the process between the paint correction, the ceramic coating, and everything else he did to the car, because it looks amazing.
So here we've got the Honda Civic Type R. I've performed a paint correction and ceramic coating to the vehicle, as well as detail the interior and the engine. Sean is just coming to pick up his vehicle, and I'm going to take him for a little walk around, show him all the details and everything that was included in the job. So the paint was gone over with a one-step paint correction to bring out some more gloss, shine, remove some of the swirls. It wasn't a two-step correction, so there's going to be very, very light imperfections left over, but it's basically in perfect condition, and this car is going to be protected for about 3 years now with the ceramic coating. So we've got the wheels that are also protected. We've got the liners that are nice and dressed. You know, the tires, all the barrels are done, calipers.
Wow, it looks brand new.
Yeah, those wheels needed some love on the inside.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially on the barrels. Those black wheels aren't easy to take care of. Polished all the gloss black trim here with a two-step correction. I went over with my first pass and I wasn't satisfied with it, so I went over with the second and I got it just perfect. So when you see it in the sun now, it's just going to be a flat gloss black all the way across, no scratches in that. And then I was able to polish over the sticker too, so all that area is done as well.
Wow, it looks. I mean, there's nothing. It was pretty scratched up before.
It was. Probably the worst parts of the car were the gloss black up here and then just a few spots on the roof. But you know, Sean's been taking a great care of his car. Don't know how he's been doing it, but it looks pretty good for 32,000 miles. I've got the exhaust tips polished and protected as well. That's been done. There was a bit of oxidation and carbon buildup along the edges of the exhaust, so you know, when I'm driving behind a car on the street, I like to look at the exhaust and see if that's done too, and it usually isn't. So
wow.
Exhaust is polished by hand, and then all the paint is polished by machine.
Wow. Yeah, even the gloss back on the rear bumper and everything is.
It's really good.
Wow. And then you mentioned what, I guess, particular kind of ceramic coating is this? I know you mentioned there were some different
So this
kinds.
is the CarPro C-Quartz UK 3.0. That's one I've installed on probably over 300 vehicles now, and I've had really good experience with it. My clients seem to love it. The water beading and sheeting, which I'm going to show you in just a second, just is awesome, and it's going to go a long way in keeping the car clean for a long time. So on the interior of the vehicle, we've pulled out all the mats, detailed all the carpets, pulled back this trunk protector up here, all the glass, all the door jambs are nice and done. Pulled the seats down and forward. All the plastic and leather trims on the interior have been protected with the 303 aerospace protectant, so that's going to add some nice protection on the inside of there. You know, move the seats up, down, forwards, back. And I always like to show the carpet before I put the mats back in, just to show you that the mats have been definitely pulled out.
Wow.
That's been detailed too.
Yeah, everything, even the rails are clean now. Wow.
Get on the phone inside there. Then all the air vents, nice and detailed too. I've got a little brush to get on the inside of there. All the dashboard, all the door jambs on the inside of here. That gasket is nice and black and dressed now. Might be a little easier to see over here.
Wow.
Tight area.
No, yeah, I see it. That's amazing.
Yeah, so the interior and engine wasn't included on this one, but I wanted to do it for you.
Yeah, you said even the engines now? Wow, that's amazing.
So the engine is detailed from the front, from the right, and from the left, just to make sure that it looks good from all different angles and whatnot. The top of the hood has been cleaned of any spots. And then engines are typically pretty easy to do, but I like to spend a little extra time and make them perfect. So you can go to a car meet or a show, or you can drive it up the mountain, take some good pictures of it. It really makes a difference when you've got the entire car done and the engine. That's pretty much as good as you can get to new.
It looks like it came from the factory. It's wow. Yeah, like I said, thank you again. This is amazing. I'm super happy with how this turned out.
My pleasure. You know, this is my hobby and my passion. Something I spend a lot of time on, and I'm very happy to know that you love it.
Wow.
Demonstration. So we've got some water. We're going to pour it over the ceramic coating, and it just runs off the car. Nothing wants to stick to it. And then since the ceramic was applied probably about 16 hours ago, the ceramic isn't fully cured yet, and as it cures more over the next week, that water beading is going to be even more pronounced as the ceramic hardens. So here's the ceramic that was applied, the UK 3.0, and how that goes on is over an applicator cloth, just like this. And we drip the ceramic onto the cloth, then it goes over the paint in a crisscross motion, and that's how it gets applied evenly all over the surface, so you don't get any high spots. So if you actually want to feel this cloth, it actually gets hard over its curing process. So the strength of the ceramic is determinant on the surface that it bonds to. So when it bonds to something extremely hard, like paint or clear coat, it actually bonds almost like glass to the car. So I always like to keep this around for a demonstration, just to show that that this is like a very soft cloth material, and it bonds almost like a rock. So that's the kind of protection that you're getting all over the vehicle.
All right, well, ended up driving Conjo home. That's what I call my car, if I haven't told you that already. Drove Conjo home from picking it up, from getting it detailed. Sean, the guy over there at Cut Above the Rest Detailing here in El Paso, absolutely did just a phenomenal job on the car. I really can't quite explain just how good the paint looks. I mean, it looks better than when I first got the car, minus a few things on the front, paint protection film, but that's not really the detailer's fault. Ultimately, some of that stuff, if I didn't have the paint protection film, probably would have chipped or cracked the paint. Now I can just peel that off, and when I put new paint protection film on the front of the car, it will look literally brand new because the paint underneath has not been affected at all. But beyond a couple of those things from the 33,000 miles that I've driven, the car looks brand new. As a matter of fact, he did such a good job getting in between some of the cracks, the door jams, the engine bay. It actually looks better than when I first picked up the car last summer. So again, I've only really had it for less than a year, about 9 months really. But for the paint and the car to look as good as it does, I mean, it's phenomenal. It really, I can't explain how good the ceramic coating and paint protection, or excuse me, the paint correction that he did and the ceramic coating on it, I mean, it just makes the paint look absolutely stellar. And it's just buttery smooth. You touch it and it feels like glass. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's just incredibly smooth. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. It was worth, I think, every penny. And you might be asking, what's the point in getting your car detailed? Why get a paint correction? Why get your car ceramic coated? Well, it really comes down to, I mean, how much do you value your car? It's not purely just an aesthetic thing. I mean, yeah, it's great that my car does look this nice now and will stay looking this nice for quite a while as long as I do my part. But think of it this way. Just like every other component on your car, your paint is something else that you need to kind of maintain and try to keep clean and looking nice. And after your car's been through some wear and tear and you've driven it a little bit and maybe it's been exposed to the elements, it's preventative maintenance. The way I look at it is, it's kind of almost like changing your oil or your air filter or getting your tires replaced. Doing this kind of work on your car once every few years or once a year, depending on how much you drive, might be worth it to you. I know for me and my OCD, it definitely was, because I feel so much happier that my car looks as wonderful as it does. I'll even put a link down below to his contact information if any of you in the El Paso area might be interested in getting your car detailed. There's only really a few places here where you can get it done, but I would highly recommend him. He did just a stellar job. I tell you what, COVID-19, the lockdown, the pandemic, it's really kind of a bummer. And this is really one of the few chances I've actually really gone out to see anyone else in the last few months. And now that I feel like I've gotten my car's paint protected, I got this wonderful haircut finally. Now that the barbershops are starting to open up, take precautions doing that, I just feel amazing. I don't know what else to tell you. Paint protection film just does wonderful, wonderful things for my happiness and mental health. So one more thing before I forget. Again, I've already told you that Sean did just a phenomenal job on the paint correction. I mean, the whole detail, the ceramic coating, it looks really good. But I did want to point out one thing. Originally, I had a sticker back here. I don't put stickers on my cars very often. I really only have two. But I put a sticker back here. We removed it. Ended up trying to use rubbing alcohol. and a paper towel to get a lot of the goo off because I'm an idiot and that's what I had on me at the time. Big mistake. Caused a lot of scratches. Well, originally I really only paid for and asked for a 1-stage paint correction. I guess there's like 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. He actually went the extra mile, which is super cool and super nice of him. And he actually did a 3-stage paint correction here on the back before applying the ceramic coating over it. And you would never know that there was ever any damage to the paint from having removed that sticker. I mean, the fact that he went a little bit above and beyond, he even put some ceramic coating inside the door sills on the front and passenger side, front row of the car, which is, I mean, that's super nice of him. That's awesome. So he went above and beyond, which is amazing. Again, that kind of customer service, the detail. He was even sharing some photos and stuff of the car as he was working it with me. And he takes his time. Again, a good correction. Now, I don't professionally detail cars, but I do know enough about detailing cars to tell you that you can't rush it. And he actually spent a day and a half on just my car with everything he did. So he definitely took his time, and it shows. And I'm just ecstatic. I cannot recommend him enough. And if you want to get your car ceramic coated or paint protection or anything like that done, any kind of detail work, and you're in the El Paso area, I definitely recommend checking him out. Or if you're not, I just recommend it for your car anyway. I mean, what's wrong with wanting to make your car look a little bit nicer, you know? I can't believe I put 33,000 miles on this car. It looks brand new.